Hello, good evening to everyone. I am Sister Evelyn from the Philippines, but I am a missionary to Brazil already 16 years. Yeah. And this time, I am now having my stay here in the chapter already for how many days? We started really yesterday, our chapter proper. And I think I have so much experience participating in this chapter is really very enriching. I have participated already for three chapters. The first one in the Philippines in 1999, and second one in Holland, Maastricht in 2005, and the third one is here. And I could see that there is really a big difference, yeah. Because when the first time I was only augmented, yeah, delegate, because we have our regional superior or so. And this time as a unit, so I have the opportunity to participate in this chapter. And before coming here, there are already mixed feelings, yeah. Mixed feelings. What will happen? What will I do as part of the unit of Brazil, the smallest unit of the congregation? But then when I came here, we are very, yeah, I was also lucky that I came with the delegates from the Philippines. So when coming here, we are so happy. And then when the sisters, when we arrived in the airport, the sisters fetched us, and we could see that the generosity, yeah, the joy of meeting all our sisters, even we do not know them personally, but the spirit is there. And we have the opportunity, I myself, yeah, before the chapter, to visit the old sisters in Santa Ana. There I meet all the sisters that I have met before in the Philippines. And when I was still in the formation, I meet them. And when meeting those sisters, I become so emotional, you know. I almost cry, but I hide my tears because I was really happy knowing that they are still there, yeah, and they are part of the history of my vocation. When I meet Sister Maximila, yeah, because I met her before I became a sister. She always invited me to give seminars or retreat for the catechist in Kalilangan where she was working. But then when I see her, and then when she greeted me, she asked me, "Do you still remember me?" And I said, "Yes, of course." That memories of being together. And when I was also a junior, I was also assigned in her parish in Kalilangan. So I worked with her. And also, I met Sister Wariati. I said, "Oh, Sister Wariati is already with white hair, and also I am also with white hair." But the feeling is really, I could not imagine how I feel, yeah. Because seeing them, Sister Elise, Sister Cicila, those were Sister Chudurin, they were there, yeah, when I was still in the Philippines. And I lived with Sister Elise also. She was working in Radio Veritas. I was working in the parish in Project 4, the Miraculous Medal Parish as catechist coordinators. But then we always have that experience of joy. Sometimes we quarreled in the community. But I met Sister Clementine. She was still studying also in the Philippines. We are one in the community. But then now, yeah, I could still see, I could still feel the oneness of being a CB. Yeah, although our physical attributes are already very different. Yeah, before we are still very young. Now with white hair, and sometimes we could not walk straight, but then that feeling of oneness, the feeling of belongingness is there. And now, when we started also our chapter with the opening mass, I see all the sisters in wheelchairs. My heart feel I really could not imagine how they embrace us, how they prayed for us for the success of this chapter. And now that we really started the chapter, I could feel even these are young ones. Yeah, I am the most young one here because I'm the oldest delegate of the chapter. But I can still feel, I can still be with them. Uh, I can still joke, even, yeah. And I think what is now the difference, because we can understand now in the language we are using. Yeah. Before we need an interpretation. One, the first time in the Philippines, we have to interpret from Dutch to English and Bahasa to English. But now I could see that everybody is already using the English language and we could understand one another. And for 2 days already, I can see, yeah, and how we are participating. There is no difference. That kind of going beyond boundaries. It is really true, yeah. And this evening, when we have the theological reflection of Father Pernia, I was so touched, when he said that in this chapter, no one is above the other. So everybody has its role, uh, has the capacity to contribute, and I think is very necessary for us as an international congregation. I think we have diverse capacities, and we could be of help, or we could contribute to the welfare of the congregation. So this time, I hope, yeah, we still have how many days to discuss, maybe, and to see, to reflect what will be our future. But I could see and I could feel that everybody in the chapter, the participants, are willing to contribute. So for me also, although I am the youngest of this delegate, I am also encouraged to participate actively. So little by little, as I have said, no one is greater than the other. So everybody has its own part, yeah, of the whole. So I also thank the GB, yeah, Sister Rosaria, Sophia, Duina, Rachel, and Terry for all the things that they have done for the congregation for this past 6 years. And actually, yeah, during the decommissioning of the GB members, I feel a little bit sad, yeah. But I know that this is for the good of the congregation, and also it is part of the service, yeah. So we become the leaders of the congregation to serve for our sisters, especially those areas in need. So for us, for me, I am so happy and I am so grateful that I am one of the delegates. So for this event, I could not say many words to thank God for having this congregation, for joining this congregation, because there are many gifts that I have received, yeah, for these days. And also for the past years, for 39 years in the congregation, I have many things to thank God. So for the good of the congregation. We will continue to see, to serve the congregation for the love of God. May the name of the Lord be praised. Amen.